welcome to a new video interview opportunity here at Shogunet Gaming News. We'll be covering the sports betting industry and bringing some perspective from one of its leading providers. I'm talking about Suso App, which is a leading provider for cash management software and hardware solutions for the global gaming industry for many years and worldwide. So today we are joined by its Vice President of Sales for Europe, Tim Kennedy. So hello, Tim. Thank you for joining us today at Shogunet.
Hi, welcome. Good to see you.
You too. At Shogunet, we've been covering the closure of retail betting shops in Europe, of course, and many other jurisdictions for the past few months, for the past year actually, and now we're trying to see some recovery and reopening many jurisdictions, including the markets you work on in Europe. So what can you tell us about sports betting and in general, what does it represent for Suso App's overall business today?
Yeah, obviously the last 14 months in the pandemic have been anything but usual. And so breaking it down by numbers, I would say, is quite difficult. But what is really obvious to us is that sports betting is becoming a much more important part of our business, not only from the point of view of the OEMs that we supply, so the terminal manufacturers, but during the pandemic, we took the opportunity to start our own line of terminals and offer them to the market. And we were successful in winning a contract with a major lottery provider in Europe. Using that, we'll use that as a springboard to offer that to the rest of the world, and particularly to the rapidly growing US market. So we see plenty of opportunity worldwide. Obviously, there's a lot of focus on the US right now, but not only in the US, in South America, in many European countries, and right across the world, many governments are looking at sports betting as a way to somehow pay for the cost of the pandemic. So we see a lot of opportunity.
Well, and what will be your role here especially in the land-based sports betting market? What are your main offerings today and your distinctive features to be competitive in this, as you say, rapidly growing market with many players trying to take a piece of the cake today in all these jurisdictions and a very large market?
Yeah, so for a long time, we've had a long-standing relationship with suppliers like Elo, who supply touchscreens, so probably the highest quality gaming touchscreen. And so we've had a relationship with them. We're probably their largest supplier in the world on touchscreens. We have been supplying those to sports betting terminal manufacturers for some time, along with a range of other industry competitive components. But recently we launched a service for end customers or sports betting platform providers, which allows them to offload all of their hardware requirements to us. And we offer a consultation service that will basically work with them to understand what the player requirements are and environmental requirements, whether the terminal is being installed in a casino or more of a street environment, and be able to engineer a solution that will meet those requirements. And we offer everything from design right the way through the project all the way to delivery. So for example, in a new market, a lot of operators are looking to get involved in sports betting because it's a growth opportunity, but they don't have neither the time nor the expertise to be able to offer land-based sports betting. And that's where Suso App offer this end-to-end service to take care of all your hardware needs. Great.
Well, that's very clear. So you've mentioned a little bit of this earlier, but the pandemic, how is the pandemic affecting regarding your work and development today, the kind of products that you're offering based on the demands from the operators and which are subject to tied to the ongoing restrictions. I recall one of your recent launches was your personal protection line. It was maybe when the pandemic was at early stages. So how what are the current effects of the new landscape brought by the pandemic in your product development today?
Yeah, so obviously a number of our customers that were operators had their facilities closed for a number of months, either in Europe or across the world. So we had to quickly refocus our efforts to opportunities that still existed. So as you say, we launched a line of personal protection to allow the venues that were still operating to allow them to operate safely. But we also worked with our customers long term to provide them support so they could continue to trade in some form. So, you know, we've been very flexible on our payment terms during the pandemic. But increasingly, I would say in the last 6 months, we've been working on some very long-term projects as operators saw that the market would start to open up. They've very quickly now started to put their efforts into long-term, particularly sports betting projects, which can be long in their gestation, so that they're ready when all the markets open up. They're ready to roll out terminals. So we're working on a number of projects. So I guess it's about being dynamic and flexible as the market changes. And you know, I would say every country that I'm responsible for has a different opening schedule now. So every day I'm looking at the schedules and working with customers to decide, you know, which projects and which products we can support our customers with. It's a very dynamic situation.
Sure. Well, you know, we've had a conversation with by the end of last year with SUSOP's VP of Sales, Gaming and Amusement for America's top teams, and he told us that he was seeing a shift within SUSOP's customers towards sports betting, and especially the new generations of players were very attracted to this market. So I wanted to ask you if you still see this trend in the company based on the feedback from your customers, and maybe what are the new demands from operators and especially bettors today, if there is some amid this shift and maybe some new player behaviors that you're seeing in this new landscape.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the US is obviously fast opening up in lots of different states. And I would say initially, customers wanted to get product to market as fast as possible. And the range of terminals that were available, the range of options was quite limited. I think now there's potentially a second generation of terminals that are required from the point of view of a consumer. So we're now looking at consumer journeys to understand, you know, player behavior to make the betting experience better, and to make also the overall experience when you place a bet and you win and want to collect money, how that experience can be enhanced. So we're going to be launching a line of cash redemption terminals that go hand in hand with sports betting terminals to enhance that player experience. And that's particular to the US. So I think, you know, as the market matures, you'll see an increase in the player experience or an enhancement of the player experience. I think SUSOAP has a big part to play in that, as we talk to lots of customers and we see the casino business from lots of different avenues, and we can bring our product experience to bear to improve that overall experience for players and operators alike.
Well, sounds very exciting. Tim, thank you very much for your time today. Maybe I don't know if you have some final thoughts or reflection before we say goodbye to your. We look forward, of course, to a new video interview opportunity with SUSOAP.
Yeah, no, thanks for your time today. I mean, I would just say, you know, we continue to be very excited about sports betting opportunities in the US and in the wider market, and you know, we continue to bring new products to to market, and we can keep you updated.
Great. Thank you very much, Tim. See you soon.
Yeah, thanks. Bye now.
Bye-bye.